Now, do you all see my screen?
Yes.
Everybody see the PowerPoint presentation, the first
Yes,
slide with the
yes.
title? I just want
Yes.
to
Mm-hmm.
make sure.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Again, thank you all for for having me here. And actually, it's an honor, really. It's an honor. And I give all the glory to God. So, today I just want to explore with you a little bit what it means to thrive in research institutions. Our focus will be on forging a path in cutting edge research, not just surviving, but building a sustainable and impactful career in a highly competitive environment. I seem to be speaking to people who I don't know. I know Brother Kingsley. You are not on any university campus. I don't know about the others, but anyway, so when we think about thriving, it's more than simply doing research. It's about positioning ourselves to grow, to contribute, and influence. Cutting edge research is not just important for the academia, well, that's where I am, and it shapes almost every aspect of our life. I mean, it shapes technology, policy, society itself. And so today we'll look at how researchers can succeed by developing the right mindset, seizing opportunities, and addressing challenges head on. So that will be the focus of my presentation. Okay? And I want to start off by this image you have on the screen, just to point out something. Now, when I started research, um, none of the technologies that we have today existed, obviously. And I know very well I'm stating the obvious, since that we all know already, you know already, that in my generation there was nothing like that what we have today. But the good thing that we had parents who knew what they wanted for their children. And I always jokingly say we had shoes, so we could walk to the libraries to go do our research. I mean, the image you see on the screen, if you look at the first image, that's really me. I mean, no, I don't mean that's me, but it represents what I was, what it was like. It was all about just reading, going to the libraries. We didn't even have books at home, so you had to walk to libraries. I'm not even sure we are allowed even to check out books those days. Anyway, I point this all out simply to bridge generations, the gap, but mostly also to remind us, to remind all of us that tools have changed, but the mindset of curiosity and perseverance remains the same. That hasn't changed. Um, Proverbs 25:2 tells us that it's the glory of God to conceal a thing, but the honor of kings is to search out a matter. I don't usually read the message. I don't know whether if you're familiar with the Bible translation called the message. I don't usually read it, but for this time, this proverb, I was a bit curious to see what they will say in modern words. And this is what it says: God delights in concealing things, scientists delight in discovering things. And in many ways, that's what research is all about, searching out the mysteries God has woven into his own creation. Searching out, discovering what God has already placed in creation. For centuries, the law of aerodynamics was hidden. In fact, when I say for centuries, that's an estimation. I believe till the maybe beginning of 20th century, it was hidden. Okay, the law of aerodynamics was hidden from man, yet it was there all along. So when the Wright brothers began experimenting, they were not inventing a new law. They were simply uncovering what God had already designed. And this is the essence of research. We are seekers. We are not creators. We are not creators of truth. We search out the wonders God had placed in nature, in language, in human life. And if you look at it it's really a humbling, at the same time, humbling thoughts. I mean, inspiring thought. It is humbling, it's also inspiring. That every discovery, every equation, every insight It's a glimpse into God's concealed wisdom. Cutting edge research is not just about intelligence, it's about passion and diligence. Passion gives direction and excitement. Diligence gives structures and progress. I mean, those who thrive are the ones driven by curiosity and grounded in relentless experimentation. In Christian terms, passion is the spark of calling, and diligence is obedience that brings that calling to fruition. We are all familiar with Proverbs 22:29 that reminds us that diligence leads to excellence and influence and influence. Those who are faithful, those who are diligent in their work, they stand before kings. So that's the gist of that proverb. So passion and diligence. We are all familiar with Thomas Edison. We know his story. We know what in history, what the history book says, what his biographer says. I mean, how he famously tested over 1,000 different materials before discovering a workable filament for the electric light bulb that you and I enjoy today. When he was asked about the failures, okay, what about all the thousand that didn't work? Because people will always remind you of your failures. Okay, that's what they were trying to do. But this is what he replied. He said, "Look, I have not failed. I've simply found 1,000 ways that didn't work." So his persistence reminds us that groundbreaking research isn't usually about instant brilliance, but about resilience, iteration. That means repeating, being willing to repeat the process over and over and over again. Okay. Sometimes when I hear about this man, I said to myself, okay, I wonder how far I would have gone before giving up. Maybe the 20th attempt. I'm not sure whether I'll read the 20th attempt before giving up. No, this is not working. But he persisted. Okay. Because we need to have faith also in the process itself. Cutting edge research goes beyond incremental findings. It's research that pushes boundaries, challenges assumptions, and open up new possibilities. And it's often interdisciplinary. For instance, AI, artificial intelligence with medicine, climate science with economics. Nowadays, when I go to my doctor's to my physical appointment for either yearly distance, I see my doctor. Actually, he go to AI. When I tell him something, he quickly open AI. In my head, I'm thinking, okay, I hope this guy knows what he's doing. But a lot of so see that combination of AI and medicine has become very, very rampant nowadays. Okay, climate science with economics, okay, and so forth. So again, what I'm pointing out that it is interdisciplinary. It's driven by curiosity, but also by real world needs. There are needs out there that research can find solutions for. Research institutions, and by this I mean mostly universities that are research oriented. Research institutions, they are ecosystems filled with labs, research centers, and collaborative teams because expectations tend to be very high. Originality, rigor, and ethics are non-negotiable. But these institutions offer immense resources, access to advanced labs, mentorship, global collaboration. That's if you learn to tap into them, if you learn to find them and tap into them. The opportunities are many on university campuses, especially the large universities that focus a lot on research. So there are opportunities, funding, conferences, mentorship, and global networking. These open doors not just to personal advancement, but to making meaningful contribution in our fields. Institutions also provide platform for publishing and showcasing our work. Visibility, very important. Of course, discovery brings the visibility, but visibility is also important even as we are on the journey to discover. It's very important to be visible. Now, the names may be different, But each campus in the university, I can speak for the university, I mean, for UMass, I mean, I'm speaking for UMass where I am, but I believe that most campuses in US have offices. Okay. Our own is called the Office of Research and Engagement. Okay. And they have programs that are designed to help. Some of them, they are just, I mean, tools that help to researchers and creators. Of course, I put the word creators in quotation. As I already mentioned, we are not really creating anything, but we are inventing, bringing new things to birth. Anyway, so those tools, those programs help researchers and creators to conceptualize, organize, and communicate the key elements of a project with an emphasis on potential for real world impact. So if you have an idea that you think that will impact the world, if you're on a campus, you are working on a campus, okay, or in a university setting, find a place to go to, find a place to share your ideas. Of course, I mean, thriving isn't without challenges. I mean, competition for grants can be fierce, very, very fierce. I mean, high, they are very competitive. The pressure to publish often leads to stress. Researchers also have to juggle between teaching, service, and administrative duties. Usually at the end of, I mean, at the beginning of every year, and UMass is at the beginning of every academic year, you are evaluated, you go through an evaluation. They don't just evaluate you for research, although they say the focus is on research. But that's not all they evaluate you on. They evaluate your teaching, they evaluate your service, and all that. So that can put a lot of pressure on people who are wanting to go in the academia, especially in the research institutions. Okay, in other words, universities that focus on research. Okay. And while interdisciplinary work is powerful, it can be difficult sometimes to align methods, language, and expectation across the fields. So in all this, researchers must safeguard their mental health. Okay. It can be a stressful environment when we don't have ways to cushion the stresses. But we thank God. I believe we are speaking to a Christian community, okay, and we know what cushions our stress. So how do we not just survive but thrive? It starts with cultivating curiosity and treating learning as lifelong. Strong mentors are invaluable, both as guides and supporters. Even in our work with Jesus, we all have mentors, or we've had in the past people who mentored us. I mean, I know I'm talking to a much, much younger generations, okay? And I know some of you still have mentors, okay, in your walk with Christ. Okay, people who have meant the people that you call my father in the Lord or my mother in the Lord. I mean, it's the same thing in the academia or in the research field. You need mentors, strong ones, okay, both as guide and as supporters. Networking is key, not only in our discipline but beyond your discipline. Collaboration, time management, and healthy balance between work and life ensure long-term sustainability. Innovation doesn't happen by accident. Staying current with literature and trends is essential. I mean, leveraging technology from AI tools to big data help us move faster and smarter. Sometimes it takes courage really to pursue bold, unconventional ideas. Adaptability is critical in fields that's evolving very fast, quickly. And of course, in all this, integrity must remain our compass. Let's consider CRISPR. And I'm sure most of you know about CRISPR more than I do. This invention, this breakthrough really, okay, CRISPR, I believe that's the pronunciation. You see the spelling on the screen, but here is pronounced CRISPR, gene editing. To be honest with you, I found the whole thing mind-boggling. That this breakthrough that emerged from persistence, cross-disciplinary collaboration, the willingness to ask radical questions, this breakthrough, what it can do to DNA. Never heard of that before. That you can actually, DNA, I mean, in a very simplified form, we are told it's like a book, a manual, instructions for every cell in our body. Okay, how it's supposed to function. So this CRISPR can actually edit the DNA. How did it come about? It came about collaboration, persistence. So, I mean, there are many other stories. Okay, I already mentioned Thomas Edison, and there are many others that came because of persistence. They remind us that great discoveries are rarely solo efforts. They are products of resilience and connected research communities, connections. The future of research is dynamic. Funding priorities will shift. We're already seeing it now, even now, with the current administration. I don't know exactly what it's doing to the sciences, but I can tell you what it's doing to the humanities. Okay, colleagues of ours, where I am, UMass, they brought in 2 years ago. They got a grant, federal grant of close to $500,000 that was brought in. Okay, and this was supposed to go on, I believe, 4 years. Last year, the funding was withdrawn. I mean, meanwhile, they had developed a whole program based on that funding with the expectation that it will last for 4 years, it will go on for 4 years, and after the fourth year, the university is supposed to take over. That was a deal that was made. But last year it was withdrawn. So what I'm trying to say that funding priorities are shifting. So we need to take that into consideration also. But there are still fundings. Recently, the university sent us a whole list of places that we can begin to look for funding. It doesn't have to be federal. Okay? Even there are all kinds of private fundings and state fundings. So diversity and inclusion is also central. Some of this funding, they require there will be diversity, there will be inclusion. There's some key element they are looking for in this funding because the best ideas emerge from diverse teams. So equipping ourselves with interdisciplinary skills. So we shouldn't just remain focused in our own discipline. Interdisciplinary skills are very important because they ensure that we are not left behind. And as global challenges grow, collaboration across borders become not just ideal, but also necessary. Power of connections. Okay? Before I end, before I even talk about this, with your permission, I'd like to show you a short video. As if I can get it working. So I'm gonna close out of this. If I know, yeah, here. Can you still see my screen, right?
Yes.
Okay. I want to show you a short video that somebody posted on my okay, where is the video? Okay. Now, where did I put this? Not okay. Sorry. I have to look for it. Can't remember where yeah, okay, it's here. I'm sure you may know this lady. Actually, I found out about her not just recently. So listen, I'll show you just about it's not a long video. So let's listen if it plays. One of the most fascinating classes I had was a few years ago. I was attending Can we all see? At Kellogg's Business School, University of Chicago. And can you all see?
Yes, we can see it and we can hear her.
Okay, thank you. One of the most fascinating classes I had was a few years ago. I was attending a course at Kellogg's Business School, University of Chicago. And it was 58 CEOs from around the world. And this very brilliant, world-renowned professor alone was teaching our class for like 4 days. And he got to this last session and he said to everyone, write down your lost dream or the thing you really wish you could do, but that you haven't done. And everybody was first like, these were powerful people in the room, a number of some really rich guys in their pockets. Anyway, he got us to write it down. Everybody wrote down. Then he had all these sticker notes, post-it notes and all that. And then he started saying, okay, starting from someone, say what that dream is. Guess what? He made us in the room for every person that raised what they wanted or what they thought they
dreamt of doing, but they hadn't done. He asked, is there anybody in the room that could help them fulfill the dream? I kid you not. Only two were outstanding when we were done. Only two things remained in that room that could not be fulfilled. But we'd been together for about 4 days. That was our last day. We would have left without knowing the things we came in with were already in the room and that the problem could have been solved except for that session. But they didn't know what you needed help with. So nobody could help you. You don't know your neighbors. You don't even know the power of the network of some of your friends, except they know exactly what you're looking for. They cannot put their network at use for you. Every person is 10 people away from your solution. Every single person you know. By the time they reach their number 10 person, there's someone they know that will solve your problem. But it's about you knowing how to make that connection work for you. And what?
Okay. Now, why did I show this video? Again, is to point out the power. Okay. So I'm back to showing my PowerPoint. No, sorry. Okay. The connection, research thrive on relationships. Okay. I like what she said, connection and safe space. Research thrive on relationships. Some of the most groundbreaking discoveries came from unexpected collaboration. When people with different perspective came together. Okay. Again, let me remind us of Proverbs 15 that says, without counsel, purposes are disappointed, but in the multitude of counselors, they are established. We often think of research as solitary, but in truth, progress depends on connection. Mentors, colleagues, students, even those who challenge us. Of course, we need to be careful in choosing those mentors. I like the fact that she mentioned the way safe space. In other words, not all people that we meet we think are potential mentors are actually safe space. And it's not everybody that we share our dreams with. Okay? Especially at the initial stage, we don't share the ideas that God has given unto us. We don't share with anybody until we reach a certain level before we are free, released to share them. We all know the story of Joseph in the Bible. He was too quick to share his dreams. Okay? And we all know they are dream killers. So again, we need wisdom, we need discernment in sharing ideas with others. But nevertheless, relationships are very important. Making connections are very, very important. Okay? Building a relation is not just strategic, it's essential. Collaboration multiplies our creativity and deepens our understanding. So attending conferences, talking to others, joining projects, staying open, because just one meaningful connection can transform both our work and our worldview. So what should we remember? Okay, carve out your unique path, but don't do it alone. Stay ethical and grounded no matter the pressure. Be adaptable because research landscape change quickly. Above all, remember, research is not only about producing results, but about creating impacts that will outlast even you. Forging a pathway in cutting-edge research is a journey of persistence, curiosity, and collaboration. Thriving means being resilient, creative, and open. And as we step forward, let's remember that the future of research belongs to those who ask bold questions, create new possibilities, and connect ideas across boundaries. I want to close with a gentle reminder. Be passionate and diligent in your work, yes, but never forget the why behind it. Research should never become, as you and I know, every good thing can become an idol. Something as good as education can become an idol. Something as good as research can become an idol. Okay, so research should never become an idol. It's a means to serve, to build, to heal. The world doesn't just need more data; it needs more wisdom and compassion in how that knowledge is used. I've heard of people, and I think I've known some myself also. I know some of them myself who pour out all their time and energy into research. In other words, that becomes their life. That's what they live for. They wake up in the morning, their first thought is their research. And they wake up later in life realizing that they neglected the relationship that give life its true meaning. So now the relationship that they created, the connection that they made was the purpose of research alone. It did not lead to any friendship. So when the research is over, yeah, right now you are young, so it seems far away. But think about it. Okay. So many of them, when they finish, they realize that the relations that give life its true meaning. That is our faith in God, family, friendship, love. They left all those behind. Yeah, they were there dangling, but their whole focus was on research. So as you strive to push boundaries and make discoveries, remember to stay human. The best research doesn't just expand knowledge, it enriches life. Thank you.
Thank you very much for that great presentation, man. That was very great. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So we are supposed to join. We said we have. That we had 5 minutes to join, right?
That's good. You actually saved 2 minutes, meaning that you finished earlier.
Oh, praise God. Okay, praise God. So what? Yeah. So what are we supposed to do with the 2 minutes?
Yes.
When I was preparing this, I thought it was supposed to be a together thing. I did not know it was a break because of course, this is my first time.
Yeah, the
I didn't
sessions.
know it was going to be a concurrent.
Yes, concurrent
Because
session.
honestly, I wanted to listen to the others as well.
Okay.
I saw the titles and I was curious.
Yeah, I had one I was curious about, but I figured, I kind of ordered it in a way that this was at the top of my list anyway. So I figured I would
Oh,
just
okay.
yes.
Okay, no problem. Yeah, I myself was curious about the others too. That's all right. Yeah. So I don't know, the organizers, what are we doing now?
Ideally, I believe that, well, I'll let Bro Kingsley talk, but I think they'll call us back at some point.
Yeah, we have to join the larger audience.
Okay.
Okay, so can we you should go now?
Yeah, I
Are
think
we
yeah.
supposed to wait for the announcement? Because, if we just go and be sitting there, I don't think it's, I believe since we are already ready, I think we should just wait for them to,
Yeah, yeah,
you'll probably send the broadcast and then we'll know that it's time to converge.
yeah.
Mm.
But if we still have time, I can ask at least one or two questions that came to my mind during the talk anyway, if that's okay.
There are no
Oh
time
yeah.
for Q&A so that others will benefit. Oh, okay. Those this
Is this one is specific to just this though?
okay.
Yes, it was about the private and state funding that she had talked about as kind of other types of funding apart from the federal, which might be a bit challenging now. So I was just like, where do we find that list of private and state
Oh
funding?
yeah. I don't have them written down, but I know I have the list because
Okay,
our dean sent us a list. And the dean of my university sent me a list. I can give it to Brother Kingsley.
okay, okay,
Yeah, they even sent us a list of international funding.
okay,
Yeah, so it's not just US. So there's state funding. I believe we are
okay,
all in Massachusetts. There are state fundings, there are private ones, and then there are even international ones.
okay.
So if you don't mind, yeah, I have it on my
Yes, you,
in my laptop. I can send it to Brother Kingsley.
okay.
Okay.
And yeah,
And may I ask again, what is your field?
oh, my field is computational biology. So when you were talking about CRISPR and stuff, I did a thumbs up because I know about
Oh
I know
yeah, I mean, don't you find it mind-boggling?
yes.
I mean, I find it complete. I say, this is for real? Yeah, when I was reading about it, I said, wow, this
Yeah.
can be. So in
If
other words, we are actually tampering with God's creation
yes,
because
we
the DNA that is God is God made, right?
yes,
That they
correct.
can actually edit it. I mean,
Yeah.
what I
But
read, you can correct me what I read was that it actually is good. I mean, if they see okay, DNA can have typos, right?
Okay. Someone raised their hand. Sorry, Sister Confidence. We are
Oh,
about to
sorry.
round up.
Okay,
No,
what is
I just wanted to say the CRISPR is, yeah, you can look at it from the angle of altering genes, but looking at the potential of using as a means of medication because most of the means of treatment, because some of the genes we have at the moment, I think you can just edit the flawed gene that's responsible for that treatment. So that's where I'm really from. I'm actually hoping to my challenge looks time is finding job after a PhD that's not strictly academic. So, but I don't want to chip in on the system.
okay, sister? Your this one was shaking. I couldn't hear much what you said.
She said that if one could use a CRISPR to alter genes.
Yeah.
So if the disease rather is only, for instance, like a single type of gene disorder, so
Mm-hmm.
CRISPR can kind of help. But I know that sometimes it's kind of the multiple genes, so it gets more complicated over the course of time in editing multiple genes. But yes, then the
Mm-hmm.
second thing she mentioned was how to get a job following PhD. But before she said that, I was going to say that maybe you can also share your email with with us if you don't mind, so that way at least one could
Oh,
follow
okay.
up.
My email. Okay, sure. Can
Yes.
I put it in a? Let's see if I know how
Chat.
to do that.
Oh,
Let's see if I even know how to do that. Okay, hold on. What is the? Okay, let's yeah. Mm, huh. I don't see the chat, my chat, this on my thing.
you can put it in the slide too.
Oh, okay.
In the what? That's what I'm saying. I don't see the chat.
Oh,
Oh, yeah.
The Zoom chat. You click on chat. It's
Yeah,
after
yeah, I see
site
it now. I see
participant.
it now. I see it now.
Okay.
Yeah. So let me put you mean my email address, right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. I'm putting in there.
Yeah. I can even send it to them in case they don't
Oh
have.
yeah, brother Kinsley has it. Yeah, I've forgotten that. Okay. Here it is.
Okay.
Okay. Thank you, ma'am.
It looks like we have to join the larger group. So I'm closing out.
Oh,
Oh,
okay.
you said
Still
two more
running.
minutes. Oh, okay.
Oh, okay. They said 2 more minutes.
It
Okay.
closes in
Yeah.
two
So,
more minutes. Okay. Okay. Go ahead.
Yeah, 2 more minutes. Any question? Oh, the sister asked a question about
she said, how does she get a job when she's done with her PhD? I think that was what I heard.
she's on in what field? Sister,
She's
So,
she's a medical, more like Let me let her talk. I
no,
don't.
medical field. That's what that yeah. Are you in research or are you going to be practicing?
Nothing research, I believe. I think
Nursing
it's
and
in.
the line I'm in is in research. So that is usually
Yeah.
like a challenge because it's like, especially for an international student, you have to go like for postdoc. Like that's the only
Uh-huh.
best idea they have for you, or you look for a
Mm,
faculty position. And currently with the funding atmosphere, postdoc is not like as common as you would find. So, but I'm
mm,
just curious, like if someone doesn't really want to go through the academic, I can do faculty, right? But it's like
mhm.
most faculty persons want you to like have a postdoc or probably have clinical experience. So it's kind of a little bit challenging,
Yeah.
especially in my field, considering that nursing
Mhm.
is mainly known to be clinical than it is academic.
Yeah. So are you seeking answers from your on your campus? As I said, every campus has places where you can ask those questions. That people who can direct you give put on the I mean I'm not in the medical field. Okay, I'm in the humanities. You get what I'm saying? So are you talking to your professors?
yes, yes, I
You
am. And
speaking
I
to
think,
pardon?
no, yes, ma'am, I'm talking with my professors. And that is it's actually the cause of the conversation that brought me
Yeah.
here. Because if you
Hmm.
check on the website of the schools, like I've been
Yeah.
checking on schools, when you get to that point to apply for faculty or postdoc, you do have like this error code or something. So, but
Mm.
what she does is she's reaching out, and it's like most of the effort she's putting on schools that are far away from where I stay. And as a family person, it's
Far
not
away.
from
Okay, yeah,
Connecticut.
you're talking about when you finish the schools that you can apply, they are far away.
Yeah, like I'm almost done. I'm rounding off my program.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
that's the thing.
Well, this like I said, I'm in the humanities, but when I was in doing my PhD, one professor gave us advice that look, you are going to come out soon, but you cast your net wide. Okay, what he meant was that we shouldn't try to limit ourselves one geographical location.